Okay, let me just make sure that everything's working first. There we go. Okay, I think we're up. Okay, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and do this trade. I use Card Hoarder for all of my my cards that I loan in and out. Very useful when you've got to change decks every day, you know? Okay, I think that's set then. Yeah? Yeah, I think we're set. Okay, so I'm going to do things a little bit differently today. Oh, I need to actually remove the fluff from this. So, I'm going to do things a little bit differently today. Starting with today's stream, which will eventually become a video, as all my streams do, or the ones that work. I'm not going to be putting a deck tech at the beginning of the video. I'm going to experiment with this. Oh. Interesting. Does that mean that this isn't working? Sorry, I'm just getting warnings. No, this is working just fine. Okay. Don't have to worry about that. So I'm not going to be putting a deck tech at the beginning of the videos, at least as an experiment for now. I'm going to try to make it so that it goes basically straight into the gameplay. So it's just like teaser and then gameplay. And then I'm going to put the deck tech at the end of the video. I don't know how well this is going to work. We're going to have to see. Maybe it'll be fine. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. I don't know. But maybe it'll be okay. So that means that the deck tech that I'm doing for y'all is something that actually will not end up in the video. So pay attention, I guess. Or stick around until the stream ends in 3 hours and see if you can catch it then. So I've been experimenting with this idea of dropping the splash color for lantern control and literally just playing black. So I built a list that did that. The Blood Chief's Thirst is the slot that I have put into this mono black build for now. What I've mostly done actually is introduce more tech lands. So Urza Saga, the Mycosynth Gardens, and Fomori Vault are all making an appearance in this list. And it's literally just 13 swamps. That's it. That's the majority of the mana base here. 13 swamps, not 11, 9 other lands, and then a Mox Opal, and that's my mana base. The consistency is Profane Tutor. I don't think that we really need more consistency. I don't have Ancient Stirrings because it's not in green, and I think Ancient Stirrings is kind of bad anyway. I don't have Mishra's Baubles because we don't have any fetch lands in this list, so Mishra's Baubles are not really going to be working out all that well. And yeah, that's basically just it. Oh, and of course, 4 Orcish Bowmasters, which is something that I've been experimenting with. I don't think that I would have attempted to make a mono black list if I didn't have 4 Orcish Bowmasters in it. So I'm really trying to work with these Orcish Bowmasters, see if I like them or not. And the sideboard is just stuff that's in mono black. I've got Cursed Totem and Torpor Orb. We've got Path of Peril here as well. Got a couple of Duras, got a Dreams of Steel and Oil, a Soul Guide Lantern just to have it. Maybe I should have a Pithing Needle in here. I don't. Maybe that's a mistake. But we've also got, you know, the Cursed Totems and Torpor Orbs. So regardless of what we run into, we should be more or less set. I kind of like the concept behind this list. The freedom to not have to worry about what colors you're playing and to play more tech lands seems like it might be really, really, really nice. So I am going to hop into a league here. I'm going to take a second to get that set up. And, oh, I've got a cat. Oh, you're right. You gotta be, oh, cat, that's my mic. Kitty cat, that's my mic. Yes, I love you. You're very catting. He's very catting. Why are you snorting at me? For those who haven't met him, this is Sir. He likes to... Sir, not as in like Sir Paddington or Sir Hanweir or whatever. Sir as in, Sir, this is a Wendy's. You can't do that here. He's purring. He likes it when I hold his head like this. Don't you? Very silly, sir. He's orange. Of course he's silly. I'm going to take a second to get the stream set up. I'll be right back. Or the league set up, I mean. Okay, I think we're good. All right, let's get started. I am on the play in match 1 versus Sucksy. Sucksy. I'm gonna keep this hand. It's got a lantern in it, it's got bridge, it's got Thoughtseize. Like, it does the thing, you know? Primori Vault will help me dig out of a sticky spot once I land the bridge. But yeah, 2.5 pieces of the 4 Horsemen of Lantern Control is pretty damn... It's not fantastic, but it is definitely good enough to keep a hand off of. And I am going to lead on Thoughtseize here, as is tradition these days. And what do we have here? Goblin Bombardment, Flage, and Spyro. I am going to take the Goblin Bombardment because I just do not have an answer to that right now. And I'm going to pass turn. Elegant Parlor has come down. The hero is going to surveil 1. And they surveilled away a Ragavan Nimble Pilferer, huh? I've got the Mycosynth Gardens as a land I could play. I think I actually will play that. Flooded Strand on top of their deck. Ensnaring Bridge in my hand, Bloodchief's Thirst on top of my deck. So my goal right now is to land this Ensnaring Bridge. Once I get that landed, then stuff like this Ocelot Prize just not going to really matter that much. My opponent here doesn't actually have much going on. So they are going to fetch with this Marsh Flats, and maybe they'll have some sort of 2-drop they can play. If it's an Ajani, I'm kind of in trouble. It is an Ajani. They could actually sacrifice one of their cats and hit it with this Flage that they have in hand. Oh, I have Bloodchief's Thirst on top of my deck. That will kill both sides of Ajani, so I don't really have to worry that much. I am simply going to land my swamp, and I'm going to cast Ensnaring Bridge. So eventually, I will get rid of all of the cards in my hand, and this Ensnaring Bridge will be fully lowered. Oh, right. No, they didn't draw that Ocelot Pride. Never mind. And when the Ensnaring Bridge is fully lowered, then I just won't have much to worry about. I'll eventually be able to use Fomori Vault to find a Codex Shredder or a Pyxis of Pandemonium, and I will be able to simply control what my opponent draws. But it looks like that's not going to be happening right now. I will be able to see what they have in hand, and they are going to discard 2 cards here, and they're going to draw into an Ocelot Pride and a Thraben Charm, huh? Discarding a Flooded Strand and a Flage. Yeah, that's perfectly fine, I think. They are swinging in for 5 here, so I'm going to be taking a small chunk of damage. All right, I have a Pithing Needle on top of my deck. That's very good for me. I am going to Inquisition my opponent. I'm going to probably be discarding this Ocelot Pride. Yeah, because I'm not really worried about the Thraben Charm right now. And then I am going to cast Bloodchief's Thirst on this Ajani, and I'm going to just remove that as a problem. And now we're in a really good spot. So these big creatures with 2 power, they can't attack because I've only got 1 card in hand for Ensnaring Bridge. I am taking 1 damage from this elemental token. I'm going to fall to 12. The hero here has really not much in hand that they can do to answer the big problem here, which is this ensnaring bridge that I've got. And I'm really just kind of in the mood to dig, I guess. Maybe not. Maybe I need to just put down Pithing Needle and I need to name Goblin Bombardment because that's one of their biggest outs that they have right now. Wow, they're fetching. Didn't want me to name the 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗍. Keeping a 𝗟𝗓𝗡 Pariah on top of their deck, maybe? They did. Well, in that case, I'm just going to name a 𝗟𝗓𝗡 Avenger. There we go. Wow, I kind of don't want them to have this Legend of Roku. Yep, there's a Ajani. I don't want them to have this Legend of Roku specifically because of the Chapter 1 ability that lets them exile the top 3 cards of their deck. And I don't want them to start digging to outs. Things like Static Prison, things like a Goblin Bombardment that can sneak through what I've got going on and deal damage. So I am going to be a little bit worried about that. I have a Profane Tutor here, and I think I will simply just suspend that. That will let me tutor whatever I want out of my deck here in the next couple of turns. It looks like they are choosing to kill their own cat here to flip a Ajani. Unfortunately for them, I have a Pithing Needle on that. So they can't activate it. But this Legend of Roku is going to come down. And we're going to see what 3 cards they exile. Yep, that's a big problem. This Goblin Bombardment is really going to cause issues. I will be able to find an answer to that before it kills me, I think, but it's not going to be particularly comfortable. And now we get to the stage of the game that I was talking about earlier, where we've got Fomori Vault active. I'm going to discard this Swamp. I'm going to look at the top 3 cards of my deck. And I'm going to find this Codex Shredder. And I'm going to cast this. So now I have the combo of Lantern of Insight and Codex Shredder. I can see what card they're about to draw, and I can take it off the top of their deck if I want to. So they're going to draw an 𝗟𝗓𝗡 Pariah. Legend of Roku is going to do some stuff that I don't really care about. The only thing I care about right now is this Goblin Bombardment. They will eventually be able to burn me out with that if I let them draw enough creatures. And Goblin Bombardment has come down. But fortunately, I have a second Pithing Needle in my deck, so I can answer that too. 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗍 is their fetch. Looks like the hero is escaping Flage here. They'll be able to bring me down to 9 with the Flage Enters trigger. And then if they want to sack their whole board, they can bring me down to 5. I think I'm fine with this, though. I'm not really particularly worried because the Profane Tutor is coming off Suspend right on time, as always. Thanks, Profane Tutor. And I will simply grab my remaining Pithing Needle. And I'm going to cast this Pithing Needle. And that's going to name the Goblin Bombardment. Yep, they're sacking creatures to try and deal some extra damage to me. That's fine. I'm gonna fall to 5. And I think I actually will activate Fomori Vault again, discarding this swamp. The Codex Shredder, huh? Yeah, I suppose I'll take Codex Shredder. I'm really looking for a Pyxis of Pandemonium right now. Or a Grafdigger's Cage. Because I need to find a way to answer this Flage that's going to be coming out of the graveyard. And they have another Flage on top of their deck here. I really don't want my opponent to be looping Flages. Especially with how low my life total is right now. Here's an Ajani Nakata Pariah. They will be able to swing with one for 1 underneath of this Ensnaring Bridge. And that will put me at an effective life total of 1 here. All right, Ajani has swung underneath Ensnaring Bridge. I'm at 4. The Flage in their graveyard is going to put me to 1. I want to dig myself to an answer to this situation. Urza Saga is eventually an answer to this situation. I'm going to go ahead and draw that. And I will actually mill my opponent here. Let me think about this. Avatar Roku is a 4/4. That means that they can easily Galvanic Discharge this. They could even Thraben Charm their own Ajani. If they do that, then that is 4 additional cards in the graveyard. That would put their graveyard count to 10. And then Flage has to escape 5 other cards, so they would still be 2 cards short. Maybe even just 1 card short. I'm trying to decide if I can afford to discard this Urza Saga to this Fomori Vault to try and dig for another answer. And I think the answer is I have to just let the Urza Saga run its course. And the fact that they're Thraben Charming the Urza Saga is probably good for me, actually. I really need either a Pyxis of Pandemonium or a Grafdigger's Cage here. I'm gonna go spinning. I'm gonna do this Codex Shredder here. Ooh, the Underworld Cookbook is huge. Yeah, the Underworld Cookbook is actually another answer to this. Okay, that means what? I can start discarding the card that I draw every turn to gain 3 life. That will actually put me out of Flage range. The hero cannot both cast a Flage and escape it. Yeah, I think that did it. That Underworld Cookbook is the out that I needed to this situation. All right, that's fine. I am not going to fart around here. I'm just going to do this now. I'm at 4 life now. And the Flage in hand can only bring me down to 1. And as we all know, life in Magic is not a score, it is a resource. And I have used this resource basically as well as I can, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure what they were trying to do with that. Okay, Voice of Victory. They were just trying to cast that. The stack wasn't empty. That's fine. Okay, and now I think that I still kind of need a Pyxis of Pandemonium here. Definitely don't want that Thoughtseize. I think I still need to discard this and gain the life. And now the game's locked up. As long as I'm responsible with my plays, I'm gonna be okay. It's interesting to note that because of the particular flavor of Lantern that I'm playing here, I did not have any fetch lands. So I didn't deal any damage to myself with my mana base. If I had taken even a single point of damage by paying for a fetch land, that actually might have been game for me. I'm going to make the Mycosynth Cardons a copy of Codex Shredder. And we now have a fairly strong lock. I can dig through a bunch of stuff now. And yeah, the hero sees it. They go ahead and give up the game. All right, well, that went just about as well as it could have. I would love to have some room for these Path of Perils. And if I'm going to be making room for Path of Peril, then I think I want to be getting rid of Grafdigger's Cage. I can get rid of 2 Thoughtseizes and bring in Dreams of Steel and Oil instead. Yeah, this looks good. I think I'm going to run it like this. I don't really want Torpor Orbs. I don't want Cursed Totem. Soul Guide Lantern, I could see an argument for, I guess. But if I'm taking out Grafdigger's Cage, then I don't want to bring in Soul Guide Lantern, you know? Feels good to win the first game of the league. I like that. And I am on the draw. The hero notably has less time on their clock than I do. That should almost never happen. And unfortunately, I don't believe I can keep this. It does not have a real black source in it. Like the Mycosynth Gardens, sure, but I don't think I can keep it. Are we going straight down to 5? I think we're going straight to 5. Literally nothing in this hand is castable except for the Underworld Cookbook. The best hand we've seen so far. I am going to get rid of Profane Tutor, unfortunately, and Codex Shredder. And I'm going to attempt to dig myself into a third land, and hopefully even a way to check their hand. The hero is surveilling here. If they surveil to top, I am going to play my Pyxis of Pandemonium and activate it to exile the top card of their deck. They did surveil the top. And no, you may not have that card. Go ahead and exile that face down. Now, I have some problems. I don't have a third land. I need a way to check my opponent's hand so that I can make sure that the coast is clear for these ensnaring bridges. And meanwhile, they're just going to continue to jam threats. That second Pyxis was actually a really good pickup. That's going to let me have a lot more control over what I do. And I think I just don't care about this High Noon. I think they can just have it. That is eventually going to be 5 damage to the face that they can throw at me. Wow, that's really good. That's really good. Wear and Tear. This is one of the reasons that I really needed a discard spell, you know? So I think I'm going to try and slow down their clock now. I am going to get rid of the Ocelot Pride on top of their deck. And I found a basic Swamp on top of mine. Okay, lands for both of us is kind of the best case scenario for me. So I'm just going to leave that as is, but I think that Wear Tear might have actually won them the game. It certainly slowed me down quite a lot. And now I just need to blind rip a land. All right, they're hitting me for 3 again. And that's a High Noon. I don't really care about High Noon right now. I just need to get these ensnaring bridges down. Do I rip a land? I do, actually. So that's really good for me. Ensnaring bridge has hit the table. That means I'm no longer taking 2 off of this cat. They are surveilling. That means that I can just take whatever they surveil with this Pyxis if they keep it on the top of their deck. And they do keep it on top, so I will exile it. High Noon is down, Arid Mesa is down. I actually don't know their hand right now. Haste for creature spells off of Arena of Glory, huh? Well, they didn't need to haste that because, you know, like, Seasoned Pyromancer has 2 power, and Snaring Bridge only prevents, stops things from power 2 and up from attacking because I've only got 1 card in hand. So, giving that Spyro haste actually doesn't do anything. Still getting chunked for 1 here. Just a little love tap, I guess, not a real chunk. And I'm going to start advancing my win condition of exiling the top of everyone's deck, I guess. Okay, I've got Ensnaring Bridge down. And now this High Noon is actually mostly completely irrelevant. They can still sack it to do 5 to me. But now it's just a matter of who draws out of this first. Does the hero find a Wear Tear? Do they find something like a Goblin Bombardment to try and break out of this? And in the meantime, I'm going to start exiling the top card of everyone's deck at the end of turn. Like, that will eventually win the game, like, if nothing happens. Inquisition of Kozilek. I think I will fire that off. I hit a Flage. So now I am getting chunked for 3 off of the Flage, and then the High Noon is still sitting in play, and that can deal 5 to me. Outs that win the game on the spot for my opponent here are a lot of stuff, actually. If they're really smart, they are going to use Flage to kill their own Cat Warrior token here. And then flip Ajani, and then just start zeroing me off of Ajani, and that puts me in a really awkward spot. But they're choosing to do nothing? Yeah, they're choosing to do nothing instead. So I will simply continue to activate Pyxis until I can't anymore. Dreams of Steel and Oil is really good for me. Let's go ahead and just cast that. And I'm going to exile that Flage out of their graveyard. Yeah, that was pretty decent. Flage is no longer an issue right now. We're back to just drawing 1 card a turn. They should have cast the Flage when they had the chance, I think. So they're still looking for ways to kill the Cat Warrior token, or remove my Ensnaring Bridges, or get a Goblin Bombardment. I am looking for ways to get a lock established. Thoughtseize, just deal 2 to myself for no reason, I guess. I'm looking for a Pithing Needle. That might help. An Underworld Cookbook would be really good. An Urza Saga would be really good because we can find a Lantern of Insight. Basically, the second that I find Lantern of Insight, the game is over. But, you know, I have to actually find it. Here we go. They are high nooning their own creature. And that puts me in a really tough spot, because now I need to find an answer to this Ajani immediately. Guide of Souls hits play. And it doesn't matter if they plus and then use the -4 of the Ajani. Not as much, because I can just keep Ensnaring Bridge. But this 0 on the Ajani has just hit me for a ton of damage. And now I need to hit some sort of removal spell for the Ajani, or I'm dead. A Pithing Needle, a Swamp does not cut it. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and concede the game. So this game was lost because I did not have discard for my opponent's hand. They used a Wear Tear on my Urza Saga and my Lantern of Insight. And that made me fall behind so badly that I simply just couldn't keep up. And then they were able to just kind of run away with the game and eventually drew out of it. So let's try to not do that this next game. It's a 1-land hand. It doesn't actually do much. I'm gonna mulligan this. This is much better. I will keep this. I really wish I could keep this on 7 because I want this Pithing Needle. But I think that it's just not responsible enough to keep the Pithing Needle. Ways this game goes south are if I Thoughtseize them and they have too many bad things in hand. Yeah, look at that. See, the Pithing Needle could have answered the Goblin Bombardment here. They've got Ragavan that can cause trouble. I think I just need to take the Wrath of the Skies. Honestly, that's just the biggest problem. At least I have a Profane Tutor that can help me. Hopefully before the Goblin Bombardment becomes a problem. But after that Thoughtseize, I'm not feeling very confident in my ability to win this game. Turn 1 Ragavan really sucks. If I top deck a removal spell for that Ragavan, then I'm just gonna... Yeah, there we go. I am simply going to Lantern here, and I'm gonna Bloodchief's Thirst the Ragavan, I think. There we go. Keep them off of their mana engine here. They do have a card in hand that I don't know about. The hero fetching with Marsh Flat, so Wrath of the Skies is not on top of their deck anymore. A Flage I can handle. Voice of Victory is fine. I actually think I need to get Profane Tutor down ASAP because I need that Pithing Needle that I bottomed. Remember when I said that I didn't want to get rid of the Pithing Needle and I wish I could have kept on 7? This is why. Because now they're going to be able to drop Goblin Bombardment and just cause all sorts of mayhem for me. I'm going to fall to 15 just off of this attack alone. And they are choosing to drop another Voice of Victory. I guess that means that the Goblin Bombardment isn't going to be as big of a deal now. Because they can't attack, which means they can't create the tokens that they need to create. But I've got a Mycosynth Gardens and I've got Ensnaring Bridge, so I am going to choose to drop those things. I have no cards in hand now, which means that none of their stuff can attack. And the last unknown card in their hand was simply a land. And now I have a choice to make. I can choose to fetch a Millrock off of this Profane Tutor, like a Pyxis of Pandemonium probably, and leave the hero with an active Goblin Bombardment. I am at 15 life. I have outs to the Goblin Bombardment are Path of Peril to wipe up their board. I have the Underworld Cookbook that can gain me life. I have Bloodchief's Thirst to remove things like Ocelot Pride that come down. This Guide of Souls would become a problem if they ever find an Ocelot Pride. If I find a Pyxis, I can copy it with the Mycosynth Gardens. It's a bit risky. It leaves me a bit vulnerable. But like if they have, for example, like a Wear Tear underneath this Arena of Glory on the top of their deck, then I need an answer to that. I think I am going to grab Pyxis to just insulate myself against what could happen in the future. And now I have no fewer than 3 Pyxides that I have access to. And that makes me feel a lot better. I have Urza Saga on top of my deck. That will find Pithing Needle for Goblin Bombardment eventually. I just need to hope that I don't have to take the top card of their deck. 𝗟𝗩𝗡, I'm not worried about. I can play around that. Ooh, nope. Right. Okay, the hero is going to get this Flage down. I'm going to fall to 11. I actually might need to worry about that 𝗟𝗩𝗡. Because that means for the rest of the game, I can't draw land. I can't draw non-land spells. Actually, that's not true. I really need to think about this. I think the first thing that I'm doing is copying this Pyxis. I think that's just always happening. And then I could grab the Underworld Cookbook off of Urza's Saga to play around this 𝗟𝗩𝗡. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab the Urza's Saga now. And that is a land on top of my deck. That's really good for me. 𝗟𝗩𝗡. And unfortunately here, I think I just need to let them draw the High Noon. That's going to deal 5 to me, make me fall to 6. Eventually. And then they'll have 5, 4, 3, and then oh. Yeah, I think the answer to this Goblin Bombardment is actually to grab the Underworld Cookbook. And that plays around 𝗟𝗩𝗡 and High Noon and Goblin Bombardment all at the same time. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So go ahead and make our construct here. It's free to do. High Noon in their hand. Let's see if they cast it. They do. Okay, and I'm in a good position now. I am going to draw this Thoughtseize. They did not chant me. I don't actually need the construct, so I'm going to tap this for mana just to make sure that I don't make any mistakes. And I got the Underworld Cookbook. And now I am going to begin gaining life. And I don't have to play a spell for the rest of the game, so this plays around 𝗟𝗩𝗡 just fine. I don't actually need to answer the Goblin Bombardment as long as I keep them off of Ocelot Pride. And suddenly I'm in a very good position. I have creature combat answered with this Ensnaring Bridge. I have Goblin Bombardment, High Noon, and Flage answered with this Underworld Cookbook. I have 3 mill rocks, so I have a lot of control over what my opponent draws. And I don't need to cast a spell for the rest of the game, so I play around that 𝗟𝗩𝗡 in hand. Like here, I'm literally just going to discard this Swamp and just gain 3 life. I'm just going to do this every turn. And they give me the match. That was a really tight little game there, I think. I really liked how I had to play around all those different things that they were throwing at me. I liked how the Underworld Cookbook was able to answer multiple potential threats all on its own. And yeah, it just kind of worked. I'm glad that I was able to thread the needle on that. That was really fun. Dossamer, I think I didn't read your chat in the middle of the game because I don't read chat in the middle of games, especially ones that are that complicated. But yeah, you're right. Orm's chant was the possibility of getting attacked, but that's why I grabbed the Underworld Cookbook. So it was probably just an old chat, and I'm answering it after I didn't need to. All right, I am going to move on to match 2. I'll be back in a second. And yeah, the hero might have missed chanting with the land trigger on the stack, but if I couldn't cast spells or attack with creatures, like, it just didn't matter. Like, I could have cast Thoughtseize, but my plan was to not cast Thoughtseize anyway, so I would have not had to cast spells anyway. The second that I saw that Urza Saga, I didn't have to cast spells for the rest of the game. I am on the draw in match 2 versus the Serious Squid. Now, this is a testament to how strong Orcish Bowmasters is. I think, given that Orcish Bowmasters is one of the things that my deck is testing out, I am going to keep this. I wouldn't recommend keeping a hand like this on the blind, but I'm trying to test out Orcish Bowmaster specifically and see how good the card is. And we are playing against green Eldrazi Ramp, so not a particularly good showing for Orcish Bowmasters, I think. I think I'm just going to land a Pyxis of Pandemonium, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Oh, Blade of the Blood Chief. Okay. So I have a Pithing Needle for that. That's fine. Go ahead and start exiling with Pyxis, advancing the win condition. And that is an Ensnaring Bridge. I'm going to drop another Swamp, and I'm going to play Pithing Needle on Blade of the Blood Chief. And then I'm just going to drop Pyxis of Pandemonium here. And then next turn I can start doing Bowmaster things if I want to. I'm glad that I held that Pithing Needle. I considered turn 1 Pithing Needle on Karn the Great Creator, but I'm glad that I didn't. Is this like a Sowing Mycospawn or something? It is a Sowing Mycospawn. I could actually kill this in combat with an Orcish Bowmasters if I really wanted to. And I just might, actually. And there's the Basking Brood Scale. I believe I'm just going to leave everything as is. I can play this Mycosynth Gardens out. I could Blood Chief's Thirst the Brute Scale and then ambush the Sowing Mycospawn in combat. Or I could just play Ensnaring Bridge. I think I'm going to use my cards, because Ensnaring Bridge coming down means that I will still be taking 5 anyway. In this way, at least I can stem the bleeding a little bit. The hero here is not really going to be drawing cards, so Bowmasters isn't really good for that. Ugh, Ice-Till Explorer, huh? I don't like that. Playing Prismatic Vista out of their graveyard, playing Urza Saga out of their graveyard. Yeah, I don't like this at all. The This is kind of what happens when you don't have a Lantern of Insight to take these cards off the top of their deck. I think I am going to kill this. Orcish Bowmasters. Now, I guess I could choose to not kill it, but they're not going to be swinging with this Icitil Explorer because they know that I have Bowmasters in my deck now. So I think I'm just going to take the value that I can get. 1, 2, 3. Everyone dies. And then this next turn, I can land my Ensnaring Bridge. Play a land, play Ensnaring Bridge. This Icitil Explorer is a problem. I'm not going to pretend that it's not a problem. I'm just not sure how I can answer it right now. If I had held that Bloodchief's Thirst, that would have been an answer. I don't have a Lantern. If I had a Lantern, then Icitil Explorer wouldn't be a problem anymore. But I kind of worry that maybe this Urza Saga will grab a Pithing Needle. I don't know. Like, I need a lot of things to go right here. Yeah, they just milled an Emrakul, the Promised End. I guess this can't attack, and they don't get the cast trigger if they copy it with Shifting Woodland, so it's not that big of a deal. What am I worried about here, then? I'm actually genuinely worried about World Breaker. I'm worried about any ways that they might have in their deck to get around a Ensnaring Bridge. Things like Glaring Fleshraker, I suppose. I'm going to continue to just exile cards here. My opponent is milling themselves out fairly quickly with these double Icitil Explorers. And I found an Inquisition of Kozilek. I am going to snap that off. Asking Brute Scale. All right, that's fine. They're creating an Urza Saga construct here. I'm just going to let this Urza Saga happen. If they get Pithing Needle for my pick sides, then so be it. They got Vexing Bauble instead. They're trying to cantrip. Now I'm not actually sure what I'm worried about. Yeah, there's the Glaring Fleshraker. I am worried about that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm worried about that. Makes me wish that I had a Pithing Needle for this Shifting Woodland. Still, with all of these cards getting milled, okay, there's the Kozilek's command. That's what's going to bring them up to Delirium now. So there's a way that they could potentially missequence this, and that is if they put Shifting Woodland, make it a copy of a Glaring Fleshraker, and then crack a Vexing Bauble or a Soul Guide Lantern, then that would make things quite easy for me, because then Orcish Bowmasters could just kill the Shifting Woodland. They didn't do that, though, so I think I am just going to attempt to mill them out, maybe get a little bit lucky. And I'm just going to flash this in. Deal one to their face, make a Deuter. And once again, I'm ahead on clock somehow. I don't know how that keeps happening. I think I'm just going to hold open Mycosynth Garden's Copy Ensnaring Bridge. I think that's one of the ways that I win this game, is losing that Ensnaring Bridge. Like, they didn't even have any cards in hand anyway, right? And they're running on 18 cards left in their deck, because I Still Explore is not optional. 16 cards left in deck. Yeah, I think I might just be able to mill them out. They are attempting to Ghost Quarter me. I am going to make a copy of Ensnaring Bridge in response. If this resolves, then it's pretty good for me, because now I'll have 2 Ensnaring Bridges. And it is no longer a land, so Ghost Quarter fizzles. And I have, you know, 12 or 13 basic lands in the deck anyway, so whatever. You know, I was going to be aware of Haywire Might, but they've already had an Urza Saga pop, and they chose to get Vexing Bauble with it. So I'm not convinced that I need to be worried about that. The hero is once again sitting on 0 cards in hand. And I'm going to continue to hold back. It's possible that my random exiling has actually hit a Haywire Might out of their deck. Okay, I don't know why they made a copy of Glaring Fleshraker here. Oh, they're trying to burn me out. I see. No, that's fair. That's reasonable. Well, I'm going to continue to exile cards, because that's my win condition at this point, is milling them out. Just gonna exile cards here. They're gonna try and do the Glaring Fleshraker burnout thing. And I'm actually gonna F6. I don't have anything that I can do. I'm not gonna pretend that I do. Yeah, I could be worried about Boseiju and all of that. I've got double Ensnaring Bridge now, so I'm not particularly worried about it. Yeah, see, they're just fetching Springleaf Drum and another Blade of the Blood Chief. They don't have it. And they give it up. All right, well, we take those wins. Didn't even have a Lantern of Insight in play at all. And Orcish Bowmasters saved me, what, like 3 points of damage? So it wasn't actually that particularly strong. I think I can safely side out Orcish Bowmasters. What I can do instead is bring in Curse Totem, because Curse Totem is going to be really, really good against them. And I actually think I might bring in this Soul Guide Lantern. Do I want to make any other changes? Grafdigger's Cage can get out of the deck. Do I want to also side out the Underworld Cookbook? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to keep that. Do I bring in my Duresses? Do I bring in Dreams of Steel and Oil? Dreams of Steel and Oil being able to hit a Glaring Fleshraker or something out of the graveyard seems like it might be good for answering the Shifting Woodland. I'm not convinced it's good other than that. Cards that I'm actually afraid of from them are things like Boseiju, Karn the Great Creator, Haywire Might, Kozilek's Command. I guess half of those are non-creature spells, aren't they? So I could bring in a single Duress. Could also just bring in Path of Peril as a board wipe. Bloodchief's Thirst, I think, stays in the deck. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure here. I think I will bring in the Dreams of Steel and Oil. I guess Dreams of Steel and Oil also answers artifacts. So, I don't know what non-creature artifacts I would have that I would be afraid of. I guess I could turn one on the draw. No, I can't turn one snipe a Blade of the Bloodchief on the draw. Not sure. This is a really good hand. I'm keeping this. I'm snap keeping this. Cursed Totem protects itself from Haywire Might. Keep. Prismatic Vista pass, huh? Mycosynth Gardens was my pickup. I am going to go Swamp Lantern. Kozilek's Command on top of their deck. Let's see if they fetch it away with this Prismatic Vista. They do, actually. They've got the End Step-itis. Force of Vigor, I can Thoughtseize away. Ghost Quarter kind of sucks. I think I'm just not going to play this Urza Saga. I think I'm just going to play the Mycosynth Gardens, actually, and I'm just going to suspend Profane Tutor, playing around that Force of Vigor that I know about. Then next turn, I could Saga Filter into black off the Mycosynth Gardens. Double Thoughtseize. And the hero is just Kozilek's Commanding for 0 here. That's great. I love that. Another Kozilek's Command. Bojuka Bog is down. Still doing nothing here. I am going to Thoughtseize them. Interesting. They don't actually have the green card for Force of Vigor. They don't have the green card for Force of Vigor. That means that I might be able to just leave it in their hand. Blade of the Bloodchief is dead, so I don't have to worry about that. Sowing Mycospawn, they don't have green. Don't have green. That's really interesting. So I could take the 2 Kozilek's commands, leave them with a Glaring Fleshraker, overload their Ghost Quarter by also fetching Urza Saga off the Profane Tutor that I have on suspend right now. This is going to be a really important moment. I need to sit and think about this for a minute. I think that I need to play around Force of Vigor by not giving them a green card. Which means that Force of Vigor and Sowing Mycospawn are both cards that I don't want to take. Blade of the Bloodchief is something that I don't really want to take either. So it's a choice between Glaring Fleshraker and Kozilek's Command. They have an Urza Saga of their own that's going to be coming off the top of their deck here. That doesn't make me feel good. That means I'm not going to be winning through creature combat. I still have the Underworld Cookbook in my deck somewhere, so I'm not necessarily worried about Glaring Fleshraker burning me out. Given all this information, I think it's correct to take the 2 Kozilek's commands. I'm going to play out this Urza Saga. And that just happened. They did not Ghost Quarter me. And I am going to filter for black here. And I'm going to Thoughtseize them again. And I'm going to take the second Kozilek's command. And now my goal is for the rest of the game to keep them off of either a green card or double green. That Malevolent Rumble's not good for me. Urza Saga is down. Glaring Fleshraker is also down. Blade of the Bloodchief is going to come down here in a second. Alright. It's pretty bad if I get Force of Vigored. Interesting. This Profane Tutor is coming off Suspend, knowing that they have a green card on top of their deck. I kind of want to take that green card anyway, though, right? So I could grab Pyxis of Pandemonium, take the green card, and then maybe make a construct. Ensnaring Bridge is on top of my deck here. Yeah, I think I need to just start landing things. Pyxis is down. I'm going to take this green card off the top of their deck, and that's an Ice-Till Explorer. That's really not good. I think I need to let them have the Ice-Till Explorer, unfortunately. I'm going to suspend another Profane Tutor. Yeah, letting them have the Ice-Till Explorer. So they can Force of Vigor me on my upkeep if they want to. Makes me wish I kind of had a... makes me wish I had a Vexing Bauble in my deck. I kind of wish I had a Vexing Bauble in my deck for situations like this. I don't, but, you know, specifically countering Force of Vigor off of the pop of Urza Saga is nice. I might not even ever get that far, though. They are Ghost Quartering their own Bazooka Bog. So that they can cast a Sowing Mycospawn. Okay. They grabbed a Shifting Woodland, which enters untapped. I think that they're hoping to be able to cast everything. I'm taking 2 off of this. They can equip the Blade of the Blood Chief. That's pretty good. Profane Tutor is going to trigger... Do I want this Codex Shredder? No, I think I need a Thoughtseize. I'm going to attempt to dig for a Thoughtseize. That's not Thoughtseize. That's Force of Vigor on Urza Saga and Lantern of Insight. I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with that. I can use the Urza Saga mana to make Mycosynth Gardens into a copy of Lantern, and then I can play Cursed Totem. And that will protect me from a Haywire Might off of their Urza Saga. And then next turn I can play Ensnaring Bridge. I'm going to be taking some amount of damage. Probably 7, so I'm going to fall to 4. I have a Profane Tutor on Suspend still, too. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I could, instead of making Mycosynth Gardens into a copy of Lantern, I could make a construct that would end up being a... what, a 2/2 or something? A 3/3? I don't think that's good enough. All right, let's go ahead and do it. I lose the Lantern that is untapped. They don't have Ice Tail Explorer in hand anymore. I'm going to draw the Mycosynth Gardens. I'm going to cast Curse Totem. They have to respond to this by sacking the Eldrazi Spawn if they want to pump up the Glaring Fleshraker. They chose not to. Ghost Quarter is their hit here. They could activate Shifting Woodland if they wanted to, but they actually don't have anything to copy. That's really funny. Just Blade of the Blood Chief, I don't care about that. Ghost Quarter for me. I'm getting chunked for 5 here. Oh, that doesn't feel good, not gonna lie. I don't like this. Equipping that to the construct. Okay, so now Profane Tutor is coming off Suspend. In the face of a Ghost Quarter, I don't believe I can fetch an Urza Saga. What I can do is fetch an Underworld Cookbook. If I do that, then I will insulate myself against all sorts of nonsense. Yeah, here we go. And this is where the game slams shut. So Swamp is going to enter play. Ensnaring Bridge is going to enter. Underworld Cookbook is going to enter. The hero has Eldrazi Temple on top of their deck, which is basically a nothing burger at this point. They cannot equip Blade of the Blood Chief to something and then swing. To an Eldrazi spawn and then swing, because I have Curse Totem that shuts off the pump ability. Because they can't, you know, sacrifice creatures at will. Okay, this is getting very, very interesting. They cannot have Force of Vigor. They cannot have Boseiju. Actually, they can have Boseiju. Yeah, they can have Boseiju. Because whatever they try to copy with Boseiju, to hit with Boseiju, I just copy with the Mycosynth Gardens. And then I'll have Pithing Needle for Boseiju, and then that just won't matter anymore. And I think I threaded the needle again, actually. So this upcoming turn cycle, if they don't use Boseiju, Pithing Needle just comes down and forces the issue. I just need to hold open the Mycosynth Gardens on everything. Yep, Pithing Needle. And if they don't use their Boseiju, they're going to lose it. And if they don't use their Boseiju and they end up losing it, then I will simply copy Pyxis with the Mycosynth Gardens. Looks like they're not being quite that silly, though. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land an opponent controls. They just hit the Mycosynth Gardens directly. That's really smart. I like that. Now it doesn't matter if I copy something, because it'll still be an artifact. Yeah. I'll use the ability here. Gonna find a basic swamp. Haywire Might's already shut off. I am actually going to still name Boseiju. Or I could name Shifting Woodland. Hang on. They don't currently have anything in their graveyard that they could copy. But I think I'm still going to do it. Because they might have stuff in their graveyard later on that I need to hit. Alright, Urza Saga on top of their deck. They use it. And now Fomori Vault will take over the game. I'm going to take that Malevolent Rumble off the top of their deck. That is an Emrakul, the Promised End. I actually do not believe I can afford for them to draw that. Because they will simply cast it and force me to sacrifice my Lantern of Insight. So I am going to exile that face down here. That's another one. That's not good. All right, I need to hit another Millrock here. That is a Pyxis of Pandemonium. That'll work. Okay, Pyxis, I have to activate this to take that Emrakul off the top of their deck. And it's just basic force. That's fantastic. Thief of Existence on top of their deck. I don't really like that. It's when you cast it. Gonna exile that on my upkeep. Gonna exile that on my upkeep. And we're in yet another bad spot. I need to find yet another mill rock off of this. I found a Codex Shredder. Okay. That's great. I am going to have to take a chunk of damage off this Glaring Fleshraker. I just don't think that I can afford anything else here. Thief of Existence, I have to mill that. Glaring Fleshraker number 2. Is that lethal? That would be lethal if they have Haywire Might still in their deck. Man, this is not looking good for me. So what they could do is they could... Is that actually lethal? They could create a construct that would put me to 3. Grabbing Haywire Might would put me to 2. Casting Glaring Fleshraker would put me to 1. And then, because it would still create a token, and then it would put me to 0 when the Glaring Fleshraker itself enters. I think I need to bank on them not having a Haywire Might, or not seeing the line. They might have it, though. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. They seem like they know what they're doing. Nothing. Oh, wow, nothing. Wait, why do they still have a card in hand? I don't know what that card is. Let's hope it's not a colorless spell. Oh, it's just a forest. Okay, it was a forest. Wow, this is getting really dicey. I don't like this. I have to take them off of Kozilek's command. And I have to actually also take them off of Basking Brute Skill. Ancient Stirrings, huh? Any colorless spell puts me to lethal. I think I just need to have them shuffle. Just having that Glaring Fleshraker on top of their deck, that's just not good for me. I need to have them shuffle. I'm losing control of this game. That's unfortunate. I need them to hit a land. And then I need to discard this to Underworld Cookbook, and I need to gain the life, and I need to F6. They need to hit a land here. If they don't hit a land, if it's literally anything, yeah, I die to that. Dang it. Oh, that sucks. Because Glaring Fleshraker triggers twice, and it puts me to exactly 0. Yeah, double Glaring Fleshraker did it. And now I am running short on clock. Oh boy, running short on clock here is not a good feeling for me. You know, interestingly enough, Torpor Orbs would have actually helped there because it would have shut off the Glaring Fleshrakers, but I don't think that I can use that still. Dreams of Steel and Oil is bad. I'm bringing in Duress instead. Can I afford to bring in a second Duress over something? I don't believe so. I think I'm just going to run it like this. I think my only hope in this situation is that I can aggro them out. 5 minutes is not enough time for me to win a game with normal gameplay. I'm going to keep this. And I am going to lead on Swamp into Pithing Needle. I'm going to name Beseiju, actually. This is an aggro hand, fortunately. The Mox Opal helps out a lot. All right, so green mana is not great. I'm going to play this Urza Saga. Let's see if I get Force of Vigored. I didn't get Force of Vigored. Curse Totem, that's fantastic. Mox Opal. Really wish that this was a Thoughtseize and not an Inquisition, but you take what you take. If I get Force of Vigored here, the game's over. They have the Force of Vigor. I think I take the Glaring Fleshraker. Yeah, I'm just dead. I'm just dead. Yeah, they hit the Saga and the Opal. I think that's probably correct. Oh, great. That worked. Yep, that's gone. All right, so Glaring Fleshraker's gone. Force of Vigor, Ice Till Explorer, Ghost Quarter's down, Basking Brood Scale's down. Maybe I should have taken the Brood Scale, huh? And I am just in the garbage. I am just thoroughly in the garbage. There's just nothing I can do here. Blade of the Blood Chief, I have to take that. That's just lethal. Dang, that sucks. That Force of Vigor, mate. Yeah, I'm not going to win this. I'm going to cast my spells still. They have an Urza Saga coming. Can I F6, please? Thank you. Oh, it made me F6 twice. Come on, mate. All right, this just doesn't matter. They're going to be able to kill me very quickly. Yeah, this just doesn't matter. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the game, just because there's no way that I'm going to win this. I was in such a bad position that I really just needed them to not have Force of Vigor. That was just it. And they had it. If they didn't have Force of Vigor, then I probably would have been able to aggro them out, or at least attempt to aggro them out. But, you know, sometimes they have it. I think that maybe if I had been made a little bit tighter play in the second game, then maybe I would have been able to come out on top. But that was just, I was just put in a tight position after tight position. And I was kind of just behind the entire time, and I didn't have time to get myself stable so that I could be activating the Underworld Cookbook that I tutored for to get around the Glaring Fleshraker pings, and it was a lot. It was a lot. Quite frankly, I'm proud of myself for putting up the fight that I did. But yeah, I am going to start up match 3 here. Okay, sorry for the delay, everybody. Just had to get the stream reset up. It was causing some sort of bitrate issue. I'm not sure exactly what was going on, but still, I got it sorted. I am on the play in match 3 versus Matatam. I'm gonna keep this hand. It's got a lock, it's got Saga, it's got Bridge, it's got Discard. This is pretty damn close to the ideal hand, actually. Leading on turn 1 Inquisition of Kozilek. And it is Storm. So kind of makes me wish I had a turn 1 Urza Saga, honestly, but I don't think that I can be worried about that right now. Brown Monsoon Mage is out of their hand. They have lots and lots of mana and nothing to do with it. Turn 1, Strike It Rich. And let's spend the rest of the game keeping them off of things to do with their mana. Past in Flames, that is a big fat nope. Actually, is it a big fat nope? Past in Flames doesn't actually do anything, and I could always find a Grafdigger's Cage off this Urza Saga. I think I'm gonna let that go, actually. Like, they need draw spells in order to make that good. Arid Mesa, and I'm gonna take that Realm Monsoon Mage off the top of their deck. They're fetching with Arid Mesa to keep it in. Doesn't really matter to me. Keeping the Wooded Foothills on top is a smart thing to do. Yeah. I'm going to play this Lantern of Insight here. And I'm going to Thoughtseize them. Desperate Ritual, Pyretic Ritual, Ren's Resolve. Yeah, I think I want to take that. Ren's Resolve. And here I am going to take this Reckless Impulse off the top of their deck. If they want to burn their whole hand and the Past in Flames to make it so that they get another draw spell, so be it. Arid Mesa is down, but I don't really think I need to be worried about that. Do I get greedy here and just fetch another Pyxis? Like, do I just get Pyxis number 2 here? Suspend Profane Tutor? And then just kind of kick the can of Past in Flames down the road? I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to keep them off of everything for the rest of the game. All right, Pyxis is down. Profane Tutor is suspended. I don't care that I've only got 1 land. Oh wait, no, they don't have the Ren's Resolve anymore, right? Yeah, they got a Sacred Foundry. All right, I'm gonna take that Reckless Impulse off the top of their deck. Wooded Foothills, you can have that. I am going to keep them off of Rouse specifically. I don't mind them having Ruby Medallions here. Oh yeah, definitely no Valakut Awakenings, please. Keeping it on top, though. Oh, and I just naturally draw the Grafdigger's Cage. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. Thanks. Okay, so that means that this Monomorphose is basically all they've got going on. I think I'm going to take them off of it. Yeah, here we go. This game's pretty much wrapped up at this point, I think. Ruby Medallion couldn't care less. There it goes. There's that Sacred Foundry that I gaslit myself into thinking wasn't in their hand. And here I am going to cast this Profane Tutor. I don't believe I'm going to be using aggro at all. I think I'm going to try and hold this Orcish Bowmasters for as long as I can and win this game the old-fashioned way. I'm going to start just milling stuff off the top of their deck, I think. They don't have that many outs. Okay, and then they hit a bunch of outs in a row. All right, you know what? It's fine. All right, take that wish. I don't want you getting stuff out of your sideboard. They are going to fetch in response to keep it in the deck. Doesn't matter to me. I have the Grafdigger's Cage that I just luck-sacked into. And I'm just going to leave it like that. It's fine. I don't need to cast this Thoughtseize. I'm going to hold it. And now we sort their deck. Stuff that draws cards, and impulse draws, and wishes gets put into the graveyard or exiled. Stuff that doesn't do those things, they can keep. I don't want them having a Round Monsoon Mage, but a Wooded Foothills is fine. Get rid of that Sunbaked Canyon. Don't want you having card draw. Get rid of that Glimpse the Impossible. Don't want you having access to that either. Grape Shot I am okay with, because they'll never get up to lethal with what they have. Okay, and I draw my second land, which means that I can now start suspending Profane Tutors. Ruby Medallion, huh? That's fine. Mill. Let's start ending the game. It's fine, right? I'm gonna leave that on top, though. Suspend this Profane Tutor. Hold my discard. I don't need to use it. Desperate Ritual is fine. Anything that produces mana, I don't care about. But I think I will just speed the game along a little bit. I feel like I've said that several times already. It's Lantern Control, okay? It doesn't go that fast. Oh, get that Orcish Bowmasters off top of my deck before they notice that it's there. Oh! I didn't want them to see the Orcish Bowmasters, dang it. Maybe they didn't notice. Maybe they've checked out of the game. Pyxis. And they conceded. All right, I'll take that. Relatively easy win against Storm here. Just sort their deck. Their deck has only two pieces to it. It has mana, and it has card draw. And you can let them have as much mana as you want. All the mana in the world will never give them card draw, but card draw will give them more mana. So you basically want to keep them off card draw at all costs. go ahead and begin sideboarding here. I don't need access to a lot of stuff. I'm going to be bringing in these Ashioks, bringing in the Duress, bringing in the Soul Guide Lantern. I don't need my Ensnaring Bridges at all. Bloodchief's Thirst I will keep in. Grafdigger's Cage is crucial. Pithing Needle is very helpful. The Underworld Cookbook is not very useful. And I need one more cut. I'm not cutting Discard, I'm not cutting Needles, I'm not cutting Cage. I think I'll cut a Bloodchief's Thirst. All right. Run it like that. Brought in a ton of stuff to deal with their stuff. This hand is very good. I'm going to keep it. I don't believe I can afford a turn 1 Urza's Saga, though, unfortunately. Valakut Awakening, that's pretty good for me that they played that as a land. And Thoughtseize. All right, what do you got going on? You have a lot of card draw with the Ren's Resolve, the Artist Talent. Monomorphose is kind of both. Pyretic Ritual is just mana. They don't have a way to get off the ground. I think here I will actually take probably the Artist Talent, since it's impossible for me to remove that, and that is card draw just over a long period of time. It also doesn't function out of their graveyard. So I am going to take the Artist Talent. I'm going to have to leave them with a Ren's Resolve, unfortunately. I think that's just something I'm going to have to deal with. All right, pass turn. Orcish Bowmasters does interact very favorably with Artist Talent, though. In a previous video that I released, I did end up taking out a Storm opponent who just had Artist Talents and Manamorphoses and stuff like that. And they just couldn't deal. They just couldn't deal. Reckless Impulse, Pyretic Ritual. It's decent hits for them. Go ahead and start the Urza Saga chain. Start the Profane Tutor chain. That's fine. Pressure is on. Ooh, we're going for Pyretic Ritual, huh? Did they find a reducer? No, they found a Reckless Impulse into a Ruby Medallion. So they have a reducer now. But they can't, unless they burn the Pyretic... no, they already burned the Pyretic Ritual. So that's very interesting. I think they might be trying to go off this upcoming turn here. I think I might just be a turn too slow. Lantern of Insight is decent. Oh, I should have played an Urza Saga. Dang it, come on, man. Lantern of Insight is decent. They have Monomorphose, Past in Flames in hand. They have to go off basically this turn. And they might have enough mana with which to do it. 3, 2, 4. Past in Flames brings them down to 1. 3, 4. After Past in Flames resolves, they would have 2. They'd have access to 6 new cards. That should probably do it. I will play out my Lantern of Insight, and I'm going to hold open Orcish Bowmasters. Ooh, Ashiok just a little bit too late here. Would have loved to see that. Arid Mesa in hand. Arid Mesa in play. Fetching Basic Mountain. Monomorphose to start out the chain. Do I really want to just take them off this now? I think I'm going to try and take them off of it now. And I will flash in Orcish Bowmasters. This is going to put quite a bit of pressure on them, hopefully. Although it might not be enough. This will mean that Ral will have a more difficult time sticking around. Okay, Orcish Bowmasters is going to trigger again. And yeah, they're just going off. That Past in Flames that they've got in their hand is definitely going to be enough. They're going to see a ton of cards here. All they need to do is play around this piddly Orcish Bowmasters. Nope, they got Glimpsy Impossible. That's even better. And they hit the Wear Chair anyway. And a Wish. That's not good. I am so dead. I am so dead. Grape Shot to clear out my Orcish Bowmaster so they don't have to worry about it. I think I've seen enough to where I don't need to worry about continuing this game. They can simply flashback Past in Flames, and they have enough stuff in their graveyard to just Grape Shot me from here. So we are going to try to do the same thing that we were doing in this game, except a little bit faster, maybe? Let's give it a shot. I don't think I need to sideboard. Or any more than I already have, I mean. Still going to be on the play here. Ooh, it's tempting, but no. That was really tempting, though. I am going to keep this, and I'm going to bottom the Pithing Needle. Am I going to bottom the Pithing Needle? I might actually bottom the Profane Tutor. I might bottom the Profane Tutor. I'm just not sure what to bottom here. It's not any of the lands. I think it's the Pithing Needle. I think the Pithing Needle's gotta go. And I think this is a turn 1 Urza Saga situation. Now, I'm not sure if I should lead on Orcish Bowmasters or Profane Tutor. It's a basic swamp. I'm gonna play that. That basic swamp means that I can play Ashiok next turn. I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna Orcish Bowmasters to protect the Ashiok from a random Brown Monsoon Mage that they might have. And then I guess I'm gonna try and aggro them out or something. Here we go. There's the Reducer. Orcish Bowmasters is very good against that. All right, and we're gonna start swinging for damage here. Drew the Pithing Needle anyway. So what can I do? I can play Pithing Needle and then Profane Tutor this turn. If I do that, I might even want to grab a Lantern of Insight. Mox Opal's not turned on. It's not useful even if it was. I could grab Soul Guide Lantern to insulate myself against a Past in Flame line. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. It's too bad I'm not chunking them for bigger pieces, you know? I'm gonna play out my second swamp here. Cast the Pithing Needle, name Artist Talent. And then now suspend this Profane Tutor, and I'm gonna go to Punchies. Give you 2 little love taps wherever you want them, but you're still gonna take them. Hopefully this Orcish Bowmasters will keep this Artist Talent under control a little bit. The Pithing Needle on Artist Talent means that they cannot use it as a reducer on top of everything else. Pyretic Ritual. I think they might be trying to go off now. Yeah, they like their hand. They're doing something. Discarding a Wear Tear, that's pretty good. Means they have one less Wear Tear now. But it also means that they probably have one in hand, which is not good for me. That's one of the reasons that I grabbed Soul Guide Lantern over... Oh, Prismatic Ending on Bowmasters, huh? One of the reasons I grabbed Soul Guide Lantern over Grafdigger's Cage. It's because I didn't want them to... Wow, they just conceded. I didn't want them to be able to Prismatic Ending or Wear Tear or something, the Grafdigger's Cage, and then go off. I wanted there to be a cost for that. I don't know why they conceded this game. I mean, I'll take it. I like winning games. But I don't know why they conceded. Like, I felt like they had a decent chunk of stuff that they could still do. Like, if they had I don't know, a way to discard, like, a Past in Flames or something. I guess I had an Ashiok coming, and I had a Profane Tutor on Suspend, but, like, I feel like they could have fought through that. Granted, I haven't checked their hand, so I don't actually know if that's true or not. Anyway, I'll take my wins where I can get them. I am on the play in match 4 again, actually, versus wow. You see what I did? Yeah, you like what I did there? Ooh, this is a really interesting hand. If I get Thoughtseize, it's game over. I'm tempted. I'm gonna keep it. It would be much more of a snap keep if this Mycosynth Gardens was literally anything else, any other land. Or actually, a basic swamp, specifically. If I was gonna get Thoughtseize, then I should have played out the dang Mox Opal, right? Come on, mate. That was what I was worried about. Oh, they just grabbed Sacred Foundry. Okay. For Ragavan, if I draw a black land right now, which I did not, means I could have picked off that Ragavan with Orcish Bowmasters. Instead, I have to pick it off with Bloodchief's Thirst, which is worse. Okay, they're just a second main phase hipster. That's fine. I don't want to do anything right now. Land? Thoughtseize. I'm going to hold. I think that they might be on Blink. And if they're on Blink, then this Orcish Bowmasters is going to be pretty good. Elegant Parlor, huh? Maybe they're not on Blink. I feel like they would have fetched a blue land there. Voice of Victory is unfortunate. That just means I need to cast this Orcish Bowmasters now. Alright, here we go. Not going to fuel their graveyard. So they are just on Boros Energy. Would love a land. There we go. And for mana efficiency purposes, I am going to cast this Ensnaring Bridge now. There's certainly an argument to be made that I should be thought seizing instead. Just don't think I'm going to. Elegant Parlor number 2. It did not entomb a Lage. Good for me. But this is the second time in a row that I have sniped this card that they have surveilled with this Pyxis. Thanks, Pyxis. Almost like having a Lantern in play. If I know that I should be activating it, you know? Galvanic Discharge on the Orcish Bowmasters. Yeah, you got it. For a Spyro. Okay, that's reasonable. They're going to discard a couple cards from their hand. Okay, and we are in a non-negligibly good position here, I think. I am just going to have the token do its job. Yeah, token's doing its job. It's gaining some life. 1 point of life. Basic Swamp again. All right, double Thoughtseize, let's go. Goblin Bombardment, get out of that hand. That's so disgusting. And Seasoned Pyromancer, get out of the hand. Okay. And that left them with Arena of Glory. I'm going to start milling myself. I'm getting close to having access to 5 mana, and the second ability of this Codex Shredder might actually become relevant. Like, we're getting very close to this game just being decided. If I can find a single Lantern of Insight somewhere, then I'm going to be in pretty good shape. Ooh, straight to my turn off that, huh? Oh, but I really wanted that Fomori Vault. Oh, well. Another Mycosynth Gardens. All right, well, they're drawing a bunch of cards, but I am also digging towards things. They seem to have found something, though. I don't know what it is, unfortunately. An Urza's Saga. I might actually rebuy that with the Codex Shredder. I'm going to rebuy that with the Codex Shredder. So Urza's Saga will come to my hand. Going to play that out. I did not get what's the name? I did not get hit with a Thraben Charm in response. But looks like they're just off of it. I mean, I didn't have to win this game. Like, they still had several draw steps. I'm not sure why they conceded. This is still very alive. Like, they could have like a Goblin Bombardment, which I probably would have ended up naming, honestly. They could have drawn an Ajani and removed it. They could have done any number of things. They just gave up really easily. I guess that's just the Lantern effect, isn't it? Okay, let's go ahead and sideboard against them. This is why we have Path of Perils in the sideboard. I don't remember exactly what I did. +2 mace. I don't remember exactly what I did here. Those are good. That is less good. I believe I sided out 2 of my Thoughtseizes and the Grafdigger's Cage for Dreams of Steel and Oil and Path of Peril. That seems pretty good. Let's go ahead and run that back. So that was a really wild game. I just want to take a second and talk about that. Looks like my opponent's not going to let me have it, though. The Mox Opal almost screwed me over bad. I think I got really lucky. So this is a Protect Ensnaring Bridge hand. Do I think that this is going to be good enough? Got Double Inquisition. I think I'm inclined to keep it. No lock worries me, but Double Bridge with the Profane Tutor might be good enough. Turn 1 Ragavan, that's unfortunate. I don't have the Bloodchief's Thirst necessary to snipe that, otherwise I would. Just gonna have to continue taking damage off of it. And it seems like we've got a relatively interesting hand. So I could take the Guide of Souls. This upcoming turn, they might Spyro, and that would give me an opening to hit the Goblin Bombardment with the other Inquisition. But I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I think I need to be suspending Profane Tutor. If that's the case, then I need to act as if I only have one discard spell. So I am going to take the Goblin Bombardment here. Not feeling particularly good about this game. The hitting Inquisition of Kozilek, seriously? They hit Inquisition of Kozilek off of the Ragavan hit. Fortunately, I am actually insulated against that because I have 2 Ensnaring Bridges. But it's possible that they just take the Profane Tutor from me here. Oh, they just hit the other Inquisition. I mean, I wasn't planning on casting that anyway, so I guess that's fine. Urza Saga. I don't care that I'm revealing information to my opponent about what I drew. That's just too good of a card to not have in play. I'm going to get hit off this Ragavan again, and this Surveil land is actually going to keep what they want where they want it. They kept it on top, they get it. Red and white in the pool here. Ajani? Yep, it's an Ajani. All right. Well, I'm gonna F6 here. They're gonna get enough energy, I think. Nope, they're 1 short, never mind. So they can't use the Guide of Souls thing now. Path of Peril. Huh? I probably would have actually cast that if I had it. Maybe I'll draw my second one. Oh my god, I drew the second one. Haha. Lol, get wrecked, scrub. Wipe your board. Transform Ajani. That's great. Wow, that was really lucky. Just say its name and it'll appear, huh? Goblin Bombardment is down. I'm not super duper worried about that. I'm not super duper worried about that, I think. What am I gonna grab here? Am I just gonna grab Lantern, Pyxis, and begin assembling the lock? I can cast Ensnaring Bridge this turn if I want to. I could just create a construct. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. Oh my god, it's another Urza Saga. Create a construct. Grab Lantern of Insight, I guess. Blood Moon, huh? You know, if you want to cast that Blood Moon, you can cast that Blood Moon. That's fine by me. They are not casting the Blood Moon. They're going to use Spyro to try and cycle into a new hand. So they're going to have Ragavan and Sacred Foundry. Okay. All right, this game's wrapped up, I think. It's close to wrapped up. It's very close to wrapped up. Now, the question is, do I want to risk death by creating another construct? Or do I want to just land Ensnaring Bridge? And I think the answer to this is Land Ensnaring Bridge. I don't think I need to get funny. I'm still going to be clocked for a decent chunk here. Goblin Bombardment is in play. Plage is in the graveyard. They can't flage away my construct. Is this just another situation where I grab the Underworld Cookbook? I think it might be. I think I might just grab another cookbook here. Okay. I think I'm going to activate Pyxis in response. Get rid of that Wrath of the Skies I know I don't want on top. Do I want this Blood Chief's Thirst? It's not particularly useful to me, no. But I don't want to kill the Seasoned Pyromancer. So I could simply block Ragavan like this. Save myself a little bit of damage, fall to 10. Okay. And now they're escaping Flage. Alright, that sucks. I think I am a little bit behind here, actually. I'm not in super great shape. I am going to draw this Blood Chief's Thirst. I'm going to tap this Urza Saga for mana because I don't need another construct. And I could simply grab Pithing Needle and put it on Goblin Bombardment. They didn't sack anything in response. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. There we go. And now I just need to hope that they don't have anything fantastic underneath this Witch Enchanter. Guide of Souls, I'll take that. Now I get to do this, just boop off that Blood Chief's Thirst, and now my hand is empty. They're drawing Guide of Souls, which doesn't actually do anything. Fomori Vault is going to be my draw for next turn, and that will help me dig out of this situation that I find myself in. I need more Mill Rocks. I need to have more control over what my opponent is doing. And Fomori Vault will help me find those. They have no agency here. They just have to draw, play whatever they draw. Ooh, that is a Mill Rock. Love to see that. With this Codex Shredder on top of my deck, I'm feeling very confident now. There's a little bit of needle threading that I needed to do, but it's mostly fine. Thraben Charm can kill an enchantment, it can kill a creature, and it can exile a graveyard. So they could Thraben Charm their own Flage and then bring it back. That puts me to 4. That's okay. Oh, and they give it up. Yeah. We take those. We definitely take those. Interesting games with this deck, by the way. I think I might be onto something here. This is very fun. Having the Fomori Vaults and the Mycosynth Gardens, they've all had their clutch moments, and Urza Saga is always really good. I haven't really missed having access to red so far, or access to green or white or anything. Really, really interesting. Let's go ahead and play match 5 and see what happens. Gonna just adjust this down a little bit. Ooh, ooh, no. Okay. I lowered down a little bit. Getting a little bit cramped. Sitting here for so long, you know? Very good. I am on the draw, finally, in match 5 versus Red Mog. I don't think I can keep just a Thoughtseize, Ensnaring Bridge, and Prey hand. I think I need something better than this. And this is not it. Straight to 5. Ugh. Well, I've got to keep it. Bottom a Codex Shredder and a Bloodchief's Thirst, I guess. Hope that Grafdigger's Cage does something in the matchup. Not looking particularly good for me. Going straight to 5 doesn't feel good. Scalding Tarn. Etching with Scalding Tarn. For a Steam Vents. Into Monastery Swiftspear. Okay, so this is going to be, unfortunately, actually in Ensnaring Bridge or Die matchup, so maybe that first hand would have been okay. Although it had a lot of lands in it. No, sir. Sir, I do not want you on my lap right now. I'm sorry. Please respect my choices. Respect my choices. Thank you. Sir says, but you're not respecting my choice of wanting to invade your personal space on stream. Okay, so they played Taylor. They played Mishra's Bauble. They are hitting me for 2 before I have the chance to do anything. They don't even go down a card off the Mishra's Bauble to do it. Ooh, that is an Inquisition of Kozilek. I cannot play that right now. I cannot play the Inquisition right now. I'm gonna have to just drop this Grafdigger's Cage and hope that that shuts off some sort of lava dart line or something. I don't know. Kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat. Oh, be gentle. Be gentle, kitty cat. Please, please. He's orange. See how orange he is? I pet him once in between rounds, and now he's just like, I want love. I want to come on your lap and be here. See his little ears poking out. Yes, you're a very good cat. Yes, you're very good cat. I'm currently getting my butt handed to me by this prowess player. You see? Look what they're doing. They got a slick shot show off, man. That's gonna get so big so fast. Are you even listening to me? Do you even care? You just want what you want, and then I just kind of have to exist in service to you? Oh my goodness, cat. Ugh. All right, cat is here now. Profane Tutor is not a good draw because I don't have a black land. I'm gonna play Urza Saga into Lantern Shredder. I need to find my lands. I need to find Ensnaring Bridge. Like, I'm just not in good shape. There's a very good chance that I'm just dead. I have not interacted with my opponent at all. They kept 7. I will need a black land into Ensnaring Bridge. Just naturally. And I don't think that's going to happen. Are they going to have the Mishra's Bauble or no? Yeah, it was the Mishra's Bauble. And they've got another Swifty on top of their deck. And I'm taking 8 here. Just like, geez, I am taking 8. Bare minimum, by the way. They could have something like a Violent Urge, and I would just probably be dead on the spot, right? Lightning Bolt doesn't kill me, but it puts me uncomfortably close. That kills me. Okay, I'll concede to that. And I finally lose a game 1. Now, how do I want to deal with this? Bowmasters is not fantastic. I really just want to lower my curve. So I can do that by bringing in these duresses. I guess over... Oh, pithing needles are bad in this matchup. Gonna take those out. Soul Guide Lantern is not great because the hero can just cast lava darts and stuff in response to me popping it. So I'm not going to be doing that. These are all bad. Path of Peril might be good. I guess I could side out all my Thought Seizes. Side out my Grafdigger's Cage. Bring in Dreams of Steel and Oil. That doesn't seem very good. Maybe I need to keep my Thought Seizes in then. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm gonna run it like this. You think that this is a good sideboard plan, sir? No, you don't. You think you just want pets. In all fairness, the cat is being very good right now. He didn't respect my bodily autonomy, but he did be gentle with me after asserting himself. So I guess that's fine. Oh, I take it back. Oh, I take it back. Oh, I just take it. Oh, you know what? All right. I have a cat. Oh, I don't have a cat. He's just settled down now. Thank you, sir. Please don't punch numbers and keys on my keyboard again, okay? All right, I will actually be on the play. With this hand, this is a turn 4 Path of Peril. It's turn 3 Ensnaring Bridge 2. I'm gonna keep it. It's just, it's not that good. It's not that good. And I think this actually might be a turn 1 Urza Saga. Just because I need to get stuff down so fast. All right, so they've got an Arid Mesa. Are they doing anything with it? That remains to be seen. No, they're not doing anything with it. No turn 1 play, huh? Urza Saga is going to tick up to 2, and I'm actually not going to have anything to do here. Do they have a Surveil Land in their list? They probably should. They do. Come on, Surveil at the top so that I can take it with Pyxis. Oh, they put Expressive Iteration into the graveyard instead. Come on. And they're taking a significantly slower approach here. Preordain. 2 bottom. Oh no. They have 1 land. They have 1 land. This is terrible, actually, for them. Because now I can grab Lantern off of Urza Saga and then just keep them off of lands forever. Discarding a Monastery Swift Sphere, huh? Okay, yeah, that happens. I'm going to grab a Lantern of Insight now. And I'm going to let you have that lightning bolt, and I'm going to actually cast this ensnaring bridge. Wow, that sucks for them. Dragon's Rage Channeler, that's just going to eat a Blood Chief's Thirst. I don't have to worry about that. Don't want them getting Surveils in when they cast their spells. Mishra's Bauble is probably fine. Nothing. Just straight up nothing still. What could they have in hand? Do I need to be worried about what they have in hand? I mean, I guess a little bit, right? I think I am actually just going to land Ensnaring Bridge. Like, I could be spinning for Mori Vault. I think I'm just going to land the bridge. If they consign it, that's fine. Spell Pierce, whatever. Lava Darts. 5 unknowns, huh? They are popping the Mishra's Bauble here. I don't think I want Orcish Bowmasters. I think I want more Mill Rocks. I want that Inquisition really badly. I think I'm actually going to let them have their second land here. Okay, so that means that I can Inquisition them. I can see that Scalding Tarn. Oh, and it's just a bad hand. It's literally just a bad hand. All right. Well, I'm going to completely destroy this hand now. Yeah, I'm going to take the Consign to Memory. They have 11 points of burn here. But no way to actually get through this Ensnaring Bridge. So yeah, I'm going to take the Consign. And I'm going to play the Fomori Vault. I don't even think I need to do Path of Peril because the monk that is created off of Quarry Steelcutter. Yeah, you may attach this equipment to it. It doesn't have haste unless it's equipped by Quarry Steelcutter, and then it's a 2/2 and it can't attack underneath my Ensnaring Bridge. So I don't even need to get rid of this Path of Peril. I think I'm literally just going to let everything go as is. Bolting me in the end step, that's fine. Dragon's Rage Channeler. And I think I have this game. Quarry Steelcutter is down, but they don't have anything to do with it. I'm going to activate this for Mori Vault. Dig for an Ensnaring Bridge. I think I'm going to take the Swamp, actually. And I am going to discard this Bowmasters. Dig myself into a Codex Shredder. That's really good. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay, I'm feeling very good now. I am at an effective 7 once this Lava Dart hits their hand. But even eating all of the burn in their entire deck is, well, I guess all of the burn in their entire deck is actually going to kill me, so I need to be aware of that at least. Lava Dart out of hand. Oh, I guess they didn't have a way to trigger the Quarry Steel Cutter last turn anyway, did they? Cast your second spell, that's fine. Kept that on top. I'm inclined to let them have it. And let's just use Fomori Vault to take over this game now. I'm gonna grab an Urza Saga. I haven't played a land this turn. And now we play the game where we separate the opponent's hope from the fabric of reality. Lava Dart stays on the deck, on top of the deck maybe? Lava Dart's gone. I'm gonna mill that Preordain. Just don't want them having a way to get rid of my Ensnaring Bridge, and Preordain might be able to find a way to get through it. Scalding Tarn hits play. Still at effective 7. Just gonna start yielding to these. I'm not gonna auto yield to Dragon's Rage Channeler though. I don't want them having that expressive iteration because that digs them into things like Meltdown. And they're shuffling to keep it in the deck. Or Steam Vents. Alright, whatever. Yeah, I don't think I really care about the Dragon's Rage Channeler being in play. I think I just want more Mill Rocks. Oh, I tapped my lands wrong. I could have played the the Path of Peril, but I guess instead I'm gonna have to grab this Profane Tutor and suspend that. Not that it matters. The hero is valiantly digging for outs here. What a noble cause. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work. Yeah. And now we're in one of my favorite states when I'm playing Lantern Control. This is one of the reasons that I play the deck, by the way, is that at a certain point in the game, you just kind of casually have an Ensnaring Bridge and a bunch of random piddly 1-drops. And it just doesn't really matter what happens anymore. So you kind of just, you know, slowly tap all of your things and mill cards out one at a time. It's quite therapeutic, actually. It's really, it's a meditative experience. I enjoy it thoroughly. I'm not even going to bother activating Fomori Vault anymore. I have all the things I need. I suppose the only thing that I'm actually worried about from them is something like an Ancient Grudge that they could put into the yard and then use to cast from the graveyard to kill one of my Ensnaring Bridges. My only Ensnaring Bridge, even. Besides that, I'm not really worried about much. But, you know, we're at the end of the game. I'm chilling. I'm in a really restful place. Just going to slowly mill cards until I'm happy. Here we go, Lava Dart from the graveyard. They've got at least one more in there. They're clearly digging to something. Mishra's Bauble on top of their deck, fine. Quarry Steel Cutter on top of their deck. There's the Meltdown. Yeah, it would be pretty bad for me if I allowed you to have that Meltdown, wouldn't it? Might even end the game, actually. Some people might say that Meltdown is an unbeatable Magic card. I wouldn't fault you for saying the same thing. Unfortunately, one of the rules of Magic is that by default you can only cast cards from your hand. Not cards that are on the top of your library, and not cards that are in your graveyard like these Meltdowns. Consigned to memory, I don't care about. I'll Inquisition them just for fun. I'm not even tracking their hand anymore, it just doesn't matter. Oh, yes, cat. Oh, he loves sticking his butt on things. He's got his butt on my mic right now. Come on, man. No, not on my keyboard. Right there's fine. Oh, you thought I was going to let you have that EI? Oh. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I am going to let my cat rub his face on the mic, though, after rubbing his butt on it, because he's not a very clean cat. In fact, some might say he's quite dirty. Wow, the hero really is fighting the good fight here, doing their absolute best to dig themselves into something that works. No, cat. No, you may not jump on my shoulder like that. I don't think I need to let them have this Fiery Islet. That's just going to complicate things. Okay, you know what? They gave up the ghost anyway. This game was not winnable for them some time ago. It was just fun to go through the motions, you know? Yes, it was fun to go through the motions, wasn't it, sir? Sir, show them how much fun you're having. Yes, you're having so much fun, aren't you? Okay, last game of the league. Let's end it strong. Let's try and win this. I have my good luck charm perched on my shoulder. I think this is fine. One of the things that I would have liked to have in this deck that red has access to is Lightning Bolt, actually. Ooh, Orcish Bowmasters. Are they going to keep their 7? No, they're not. They're mulliganing to 6. Orcish Bowmasters is really strong. I'm inclined to keep. It has the Ensnaring Bridge, so if they tap out for like a turn 3 play or something, then I just have Bridge. And my cat has a perch, so I guess we're all happy. Surveil land to lead off the game. Come on, keep it on top. Oh, they've been to Slick Shot Show Off, huh? That kind of terrifies me. That kind of actually super terrifies me. Ow, 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 ow. No claws. Ow, ow. Okay, get down. Ugh. He got in his lovey-dovey mood and he wasn't thinking. Looks not show up as a 1-3, right? 1-2. Oh, but that's a Quarry Steel Cutter. So if they have a 0-drop, like a Mishra's Bauble, then yep, they've got it. Okay, so I took 2 off of that. Now the question is, do I play my Bowmasters or do I suspend Profane Tutor? I think the answer here is actually hold open Bowmasters, especially with that second one that I drew. And the Mishra's Bauble cycle. Yeah, I'm definitely going to play this out. Going to ping your monk token. Bolting in response. Okay. So that saved me a little bit of damage, I guess. Yeah, they're cycling a lot of stuff here. Decided to keep the Quarry Steel Cutter on the monk that already has it. Probably because they want to trample over. I mean, I'm going to take it. They bought him twice off that Preordained. That's pretty good for me. Like that. Inquisition of Kozilek was my rip, huh? I continue to have troubles because I don't have enough swamps. Instead, I have all of these fancy tech lands. I think I just want to land Ensnaring Bridge while they're tapped out. Okay, that went pretty well. It would still take a lot of action on their end for Ensnaring Bridge to actually be effective. Ooh, another Quarry Steel Cutter. Lightning Bolt on the Orc army. This is making a lot of power very quickly. I don't like that. I'm at 4 as things stand right now. I think I just need to empty my hand. Let's see what I draw here. The Profane Tutor. That's really not good, actually. That's really not good. So I need... more than anything, I think I need mana. Let me plan this turn out. So I have my land drops sorted. That would bring me down to 4 cards. I have access to 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. 3 colorless, 1 black. Or I could make it 1 colorless and 2 black if I wanted. What can I do with 1 colorless and 2 black mana? I can... Orcish Bowmasters, then Inquisition myself. What would I need to grab? I don't know. Orcish Bowmasters and Inquisition myself would leave me with 1 card in hand. Which means that I'm still taking chunks from the monks, and if they have any source of damage, then I'm dead. I could grab a Mox Opal off this Urza Saga. If I do that, then I have access to 3 colorless and 2 black, or 1 colorless and 3 black. That's still not good enough. If I grab the Underworld Cookbook, I can cast my Orcish Bowmasters and then Inquisition myself, be left with 1 card in hand. Underworld Cookbook discards me down to 0. Orcish Bowmasters can ping a monk token, and it can block another monk token. And if they cast any sort of spell, then the monks are too big. Can I afford to grab Lantern of Insight here? If I do grab Lantern of Insight, then I still have the 2 black, 1 colorless. I would Inquisition myself. I would have Profane Tutor stranded in hand, but I would have Lantern down and I would have a lock. But it would come at the cost of Inquisitioning myself instead of Inquisitioning my opponent. That Profane Tutor was just such a bad draw. Almost would have rather drawn a land. I think I'm going to swing for the fences here. I am going to grab Lantern of Insight, and I'm going to pray to whatever god I believe in that they do not have 4 points of burn in their hand. So how do I need to do this again? I need to do it like this. Yeah, that's correct. Inquisition myself. Take a Profane Tutor. And then Orcish Bowmasters. Kill a monk. That creates blockers. Alright, they have Arid Mesa on top of their deck. 2 cards in hand. Can they kill me? That's an expressive iteration. That's halfway there. I'm not convinced that I can afford to mill this Preordain. I'm not convinced that I can afford not to. I'm gonna mill it. Just hoping that they've got Stone Cold nothing at this point. Ooh, that is a lightning bolt. I do not like that. I'm at such a low life total. Lightning bolt is in exile. Arid Mesa's down. Lightning bolt out of exile. I'm at 1. Oh boy, if they have anything in those 2 cards that is any sort of burn, then they've got me. That's with me doing the best that I can to thread this needle. But they might not, actually. They might not. Okay, now I can play out Lantern of Insight, and I can suspend Profane Tutor. And my hand is going to be empty. And those two cards have to be dead. They have to be complete blanks. Okay, they'd made it enter tapped. Consigned to memory, I have to let them have that. Oh, geez, that's not good. Lava Dart on top of the deck. I have to force them to shuffle. I can't afford for them to have a Lava Dart. Another EI means that 3 more looks at something that wins here. Flickshot Show Off is somewhere, I don't know where. That's a Dragon's Rage Channeler. That's actually really not good. I'm gonna have to deal with it though. Consigned to Memory is their last card in hand. Well, plus another one that I don't know of. They grabbed a Steam Vents last turn off of their fetch. That tells me that they don't have another Thundering Falls in their list. I'm going to leave that Mutagenic Growth on top of their deck. I'm going to cast this Inquisition of Kozilek, targeting them, and I'm going to take the Consigned to Memory. Oh, it's a Meltdown. Oh my god. They can't keep the Meltdown. Why didn't they cast that? I don't know. But now that they can consign my Underworld Cookbook, not Underworld Cookbook, the Profane Tutor. Mutagenic Growth, they draw that. Okay, well, I need things to go right for me right now. The Mycosynth Gardens is a really good pickup. I am going to have this become a copy of Codex Shredder. They are obviously going to consign this. They're not consigning it. Why are they not consigning this? What do I grab? Mox Opal guarantees that I can cast anything that I draw. I really need to think about what I can cast here. For Mori Vault, I already have in play. I think it has to be Mox Opal. I could just go for the Underworld Cookbook, but I don't think that that's good. Not in this spot, at least. I could go for Pyxis. I don't think that's good either. I'm gonna grab Mox Opal. Really glad I grabbed Mox Opal. Oh, no, this is not good for me. Oh, shoot. No, dang it. I didn't have the ability to cast that Ensnaring Bridge. Because if they just consign the Mox Opal, then now I don't have Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, man, this is not good. Let's just hope they don't see it. That was a blunder on my part. Oh, they just let it go. They just let it go. Okay, yep. You should have countered the Mox Opal there. That would have left Ensnaring Bridge stranded in hand. I am still dead to any lava dart revealed anywhere. And they still have 4 of them in the deck. I need to desperately mill myself into something good here. Mycosynth Gardens might be it. Yeah, I'm gonna draw the Mycosynth Gardens. Oh, that's Underworld Cookbook. Oh, that's really good. Okay. But I don't think I'm ready for it. I think they're gonna consign this. Mishra's Bauble. Okay, well, ready or not, here comes the Underworld Cookbook. I'm certain they're going to consign this. I'm gonna tap from Worry Vault to pay for it. Yeah, that's consigned. I'm gonna auto yield to these monks. They're gonna surveil one. Did they keep Wooded Foothills on top of their deck? Yeah, they kept Wooded Foothills on top of their deck. Okay. Well, they're choosing not to do anything. Ugh. That lava dart is lethal. Right. Okay, good thing I didn't auto yield to that. I need to copy this lantern. And I have to shuffle that away. Oh wait, no, they have a mutagenic growth in hand still, so even if I shuffle this, they can still put it to the graveyard. If they do this correctly. And they are doing it correctly. Wow, that was a lot. I lost the game. But, jeez. So close. I have nothing, actually. I have nothing I can do here. Just double checking. Yeah, I needed them to just not reveal Lava Dart. Let's see if I had anything on top of my deck that could have helped. Another Codex Shredder. And what's underneath this Codex Shredder? It's an Inquisition. Okay, well, this game was lost, unfortunately. I feel like if I had a Pyxis of Pandemonium instead of a Codex Shredder at any point in this game, then I would have been able to win. But I didn't. I registered this list with 3 Shredders and 3 Pyxides because I was just doing some testing to see if I wanted Codex Shredder. And the answer is no. The answer is I do not want Codex Shredder. The answer is I am still a Pyxis of Pandemonium maxi. But let's take a minute and talk about the deck. Okay, all that set up? Good. So I designed this list to answer one question and one question only. Well, actually 2 questions and 2 questions only. First off, the big question, the primary question, can you play Lantern Control with no splash colors? no green for Assassin's Trophy, no red for Blood Moon, no white for Hushbringer, no blue for Whir of Invention. And the answer, I believe, is yes. You can play Lantern without any fetches, without any shocks, without any dual lands that come into play tapped, just a pile of basic swamps. And I think that this actually ended up going fairly well. The lessons that I took away from this league were not swamps bad. It was play 4 Pyxis of Pandemonium, because sometimes you just need to find a way to exile that lava dart off the top of the deck. The second question that I was attempting to answer with a list like this is Orcish Bowmasters good? And Orcish Bowmasters continues to impress me. Honestly, it's been pretty good in basically every situation that I've played it. It wasn't stellar in the second match, sure, but in all the other matches, it actually ended up doing really well. It bought me time, it killed creatures. I didn't get to attack for lethal with Orcish Bowmasters this league, but I have done it before, and it's it's very fun, let me tell you. But I think that Orcish Bowmasters is one of the reasons that black works. With this guy being pseudo removal, pseudo hate, with Profane Tutor being in black as well, with black having access to things like Blood Chief's Thirst, having the discard, there's really not a whole lot that you might be wanting for out of a list that has a splash color. If you want to buy into Lantern control and you do not want to shell out for the fetch lands and the shock lands, but you do want to shell out for Orcish Bowmasters for some reason, then this list is actually workable, I think. I think that you need to go up to 4 pick sides, down to 2 shredders. But besides that, sorry, my cat is doing something silly. Anyway, where was I? I think that you need to go up to 4 pick sides and down to 2 shredders, and maybe trim one of the Mycosynth Gardens, honestly. But besides that, I think that the deck functioned basically as well as it could. Still needed some excellent gameplay to navigate some of these matches, and I needed a little bit of luck to not lose the matches that I did lose. But dang, I was impressed, actually. I was quite thoroughly impressed. Thank you very, very much for everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. Dosimer, VPYK, I didn't see you in for a while. Azaeus, I know you've been around for a little bit. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Looks like we've got 10 people watching on YouTube right now. I'm going to check my Twitch numbers real quick. Magic Twitch. And 2 people on Twitch. I see you. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Looks like I got 100 people who came in, said they didn't want to watch because Lantern's boring. I don't blame y'all. I still appreciate the view regardless, even if it was only for like half a second and then he got bored and swiped off, whatever. It still counts. I appreciate you. I will be back tomorrow with a build that kind of looks like this, but has Blood Moon in it. So it's going to be Blood Moon, Orcish Bowmasters, Inquisition of Kozilek, Profane Tutor, like the Profane Tutor, Orcish Bowmasters, Blood Moon. I'm going to try that sort of core. And we will see how that goes. All right, I will catch y'all tomorrow, actually. Ah, I see you, Doplist. Doplist, I see you. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow, maybe. Or maybe you could just catch the video. Every single stream that I make that goes to completion like this, I turn into a video. So even if you miss out, just watch the video. It'll be uploaded at some point. All right, take care, everybody.